Students, welcome again in your Geography online class. Today's topic is disaster management, which is the continuation of our previous chapter. Now let's know what is disaster management. Disaster management can be defined as the organization and management of resources and responsibilities for dealing with all humanitarian aspects of emergencies, in particular preparedness, response and recovery in order to lessen the impact of disaster. Disaster management involves three stages or phases. Number 1, mitigation, that is reducing the impact and preparedness before a disaster. Number 2, response during a disaster, and number 3, recovery after a disaster. Preparedness begins with being aware of the possibility of a disaster. Based on previous experiences, certain steps can be taken to reduce the impact of an oncoming disaster. Being a medical kit handy and having an emergency checklist ready are ways to be prepared. Being prepared can prevent a bad situation from becoming worse. Mitigation is a type of long-term pre-disaster planning which involves sustained expenditures on structural and non-structural efforts to reduce or eliminate future risks. Disaster response is the second phase of the disaster management cycle. The focus in the response phase is on putting people safe, prevent disasters and meeting the basic needs of the people until more permanent and sustainable solutions can be found. Response actions carried out immediately before, during, and after a hazard impact are aimed at saving lives, reducing economic losses, and alleviating sufferings. The response phase includes the mobilization of the necessary emergency services and first responder in the disaster area. Disaster recovery is an area of security planning that aims to protect an organization from the effect of significant negative events. Having a disaster recovery strategy in place enables an organization to maintain or quickly resume mission-critical functions following a disruption. Government agencies and NGOs adopt certain measures to help and rehabilitate the victims by giving them food and temporary shelter and take steps to restore normalcy. With adequate awareness, proper planning, and necessary resources, disaster management can reduce the damage consequent to a disaster. While each disaster is different from the other, some general safety measures and guidelines can be of use during all disasters. We should keep an emergency kit containing medical supplies, copies of important documents, food and utilities such as torch, batteries, and a cell phone ready for the emergencies. If you are in a group or with your family, make an evacuation plan. Identify safe places to which you could move or people you could stay with. Try to remain calm and avoid panicking. Follow orders given by the people in charge. After ensuring your own safety, help the elderly and children. The government plays a critical role in disaster management. It has the resources and the knowledge needed to prepare for a disaster, protect the citizens affected by it, and help them recover once it is over. The government must have relief workers ready to rush to the affected areas with necessary resources. The government must maintain a clear plan of action for each of the different disasters. In India, the National Disaster Management Authority or NDMA is the organization responsible for disaster management. It was formed in 2005 and is headquartered in New Delhi. Apart from the government, there are several social organizations and NGOs that provide relief during disasters. The Red Cross and the United Nations are some such organizations. With this, we finished our chapter, Disasters. Thank you.